Hi guys, welcome to the flight today as we're down in Faro with the PMDG 737-800.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left.
Roger that. Ready to push. Tail to the left. Parking brakes off.
Brakes released.
Brakes released. Here we go. Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
Brake set.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip and release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
There we go. Mic should be on now. I see what you mean, just had a look. Yeah, the mic should work now, so let me know if you can hear me now. As I thought it was, I just checked. So I've just pulled it back out and back in, so let me know if it is there. As we taxi on down now for 2-8. Yeah, as for Barcelona, no, we're not in Barcelona, pal. We're down in Faro. We're going to Madrid, and then we're going to go and head down to Malaga. So, good evening to all you guys. I did say good evening, but as you can see the mic wasn't working, so apologies for that. But we are here, down in Faro now, ready to ignite these engines, ready for us to leave. So here's runway 28, ready for us to just enter over the whole short. Get the strobes on as we proceed now to line up onto the runway. So strobes are on and checked, cabin can be advised. Auto brakes are RTO, so before takeoff checklist, we've got auto brakes which are set to RTO, we've got flaps fired which are set, packs are auto, bleeds are on, and we've got our VREV speeds which are fully set, 146 for V1, rotate 146, and then we've got 149 plus 20 which will be our V2 plus 20 for climb out. Okay, so here we are now, ready to leave. We've got a D-rate takeoff 2 with flex 35, which is 90.4%, which is perfect for us. So let's get the landing lights all on. Power on up, 50%. LNAV, engine select can be pre-armed as it will come in. Stabilised and toga. So it should be a more steadier climb out now.
Speed alive.
Check.
Knots.
Throw hold. 100 neutral on the column. Rotate. Let's go.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Hey, LNAV's engaged. So much more calmer climb out. Now, there's V2 plus 20, which is now 169. I'm just going to just hold for now as we get ready to make that right hand turn. So we're just holding our V2, VNAV's in, so it will get us to climb out once we go over this slight left. I've changed the sensitivity on the joystick as well, so just got to push in a little bit more on the climb out. Okay, so there's climb 1, come in, the flight director is going to drop down. Auto brake can be turned off, gears up and off, which is checked. And start the climb out once we make this right hand turn. Passing through 2004. Just trim the aircraft out. Okay, so the aircraft's trimmed now to an extent. Okay, there's the climb speed to go up. Flight director will drop right down now, so the aircraft can start to climb. Okay, there's that right hand turn. As we roll down into a flaps of 1, CMDA can go in. Speed check, flaps 1, which is checked. Now just pass over the ocean now. Okay, flaps up. So you can also view this in 1440p, guys, so not just 1080 at 60. If you go into the resolution settings, you've got to 1440 for you. As we now pass out, climbing up now for 250, 4004. Engine start switches, we'll get them turned off. cabin can be released, it's not bumpy or anything. And that is the aircraft now as we follow in onto the 009. Should get some lovely views outside. Oh really? Wi-Fi is not very good, is it? So it's a lovely scenery down in Spain. It's enjoyable to fly, as you get to see all the lovely terrain that's down here to offer. Yeah, it's just past 6,000 feet, passing 10,000. Get the landing lights up. You'll be all good to go. Yeah, it's just passing 7,000 feet. I'm going to get the QNH switched over to standard. Landing lights can come off now as we're near to 10,000 feet. 18 degrees, so we're okay for the anti-ice right now. And we can admire some of the views as we leave out of Faro. Hello, good evening, pal. Oh, Joe, my man. Hope you're having a good evening, mate. Oh, really? Congratulations, pal. You make sure you have a drink on me too. And I hope you have a great day, mate. Came just in time on the climb out, so I was able to see your message. You make sure you have a good day, pal. Hopefully it's somewhere nice and lovely. So we're going up for flight level 320. After takeoff, checklist, auto brakes up, flaps are up, no lights, gears up and off, landing lights and everything's retracted, packs are auto, bleeds are on, which are checked. We can check the recall as well, which is clear. As we now cruise passing 10,000 feet, so that was a much more nice ascend up today with the flex temp. As I put in the proper weights on the top cap, and what you've got to kind of do is you just add an extra 5 on the flex temp for the aircraft, and it brought it down to literally bang on what it was supposed to be. So I've got the zero fuel weights, the max takeoff weights, and that. I edited up the aircraft on Topcat, and then basically just adjusted it with about 5 on the flex, so it was 30, which Topcat was asking for. He wanted 90.2% N1 with a takeoff D rate 2, so we added 5 onto that, which was a flex 35, and that brought it down to literally 90.4%, so it's pretty much bang on that aspect. Just going up to our climb speed now. We can have a look and check out on the climb. We're going to be going for decimal 79, which will be 330 on our speed, and then as we come up it's decimal 797, so it's pretty much decimal 8 on the mark, so that's alright. Ah, wicked, mate, it sounds lovely. You're definitely going to have a nice time. I bet you can't wait. I bet you're really looking forward to it. So, a little bit of wing flex as we now climb out. And what I may do is when we go down to what's it? Malaga, I might make it so it's sort of like a sunset and then down into a night arrival, as I've sorted out the bit rate hopefully, so we shouldn't get none of that pixelation down in dark areas, so we should be able to see some nice views out of the wing when we come down. We'll set it down into like an early evening, late evening arrival, so the skies are quite clear now as we fly up to 320, sorry. I can show you the arrival as well. I'll show you it here whilst we're up in the air doing a lovely wing view, so we can see everything. So we're coming down in for the RIDAV 3 Charlie. So what's going to happen is we're going to come from RIDAV tracking into the 118. That's going to be the RIDAV Charlie, flight level 170. We're going to hit the VMR for the Toledo, which is 113.2 for the Tango Lima Delta. Once we hit there, 5.9 nautical miles, we change in. Then at 10 DME we make a left hand turn, track with 046 up to Tobec, which is our initial fix. And then from there we then take the ILS Zulu, which from Tobec we roll through just passing from the VOR, and then we track inbound onto the 232. That's going to be us coming 4,000 feet, 6.2 dB for the mic Alpha Alpha, which is the localizer on the 109.9. We then make that 3-degree descent, depending on what our landing altitude is. And we can see for the Cat 1, for the category C, which is 2203 for 270, as our airport's elevation is 1933. So plus an extra 270, that's 2203 right there. Oh, definitely, mate. If I came, we'd definitely be having some drinks, that's for sure. We'd be having a good old drink, mate. 100%. Definitely be some good views, some good times. But as I can't be there, you just make sure that you have a good few drinks on me. And if you ain't got a hangover by the next morning, then you didn't do it right. But I'm sure you will. But congratulations, pal. So as the land comes a little bit scarce, just around here, I'm going to get a different aerial view, like sort of the cockpit, so you guys can see that as we ride through. We've got the 006 now, which is in. Just change that back to 25. There we go. Okay, and there's the view from the flight deck as I now climb through at 17,000 feet. So lovely weather, it's nice and clear. It's nothing really in the vicinity. You can check down, see what Malaga's saying when we get down for 32 left. So Lima Echo Mike Delta meter. In a couple of weeks time I'm going to start getting back into VATSIM, do a few flights offline, and hopefully I can live stream that for you guys too. As I need a bit of atmosphere in the cockpit. I need some radios going off now. I think we've done enough solo flights to last us a lifetime. And tomorrow we've got the A310, which I absolutely can't wait for. Madrid's coming down 340 at 4 knots, 320 variable at 030, so the winds are varying between 340, 320 and 030. Cloud visibility is okay, 11 degrees, dew points at 8, 1025, visibility is 10 kilometers or more. So everything on that aspect's fine as well. My man, thanks for that, pal. I appreciate the support. I appreciate all you guys' support. I just thought we'd stay in Spain, so we've got some nice views. It's clear, no clouds really, so there's not really nothing here. 10 degrees, engine anti-ice can now go on. Fuel pumps are getting ready to come off on the centre as they're basically finished. And that is us in our cruise. At top of descent we are looking at 239. Once we slow down, obviously we can see we've got 240 below 10,000 feet. The aircraft's going to slow to .79, which is the same as our cruise, only 0.5 off the mark. So everything is A-OK. The aircraft's doing a nice job. We get a little outside view of the aircraft as well. Absolutely stunning. The ground looks nice. Some nice patches of land. Oh yeah, I could imagine. I bet Malaga's really nice. I'm not sure. When I went to, I think I've flown into Malaga. I'm not too sure, actually, to be honest. When we went to Fuerteventura, I'm not sure if we landed at Malaga for that. I think we did. When we came in though, it was really rocky. The weather wasn't nice at all. It was like grey, raining. It was lovely coming over the ocean and then crossing the border. The sea was so blue, the sun was so bright. But then as soon as we got down near, I think it was Malaga we went into, it was just complete grey, it was raining. That was with EasyJet on the Airbus. The plane was getting chucked about. It was getting chucked about crazy. Like even for me, I was like, Jesus. You could feel as well, the first time out of all the flights that I've ever flown on, like usually it's been like big airliners, but that was the first time flying on an Airbus, and that was the first time I've actually felt the because I was sitting right at the very back of the aircraft. That's the first time I could actually feel with the crosswind the aircraft's rudder kicking in to then kick us in to line up with the runway. And it was a weird feeling because you're going straight, but then you can feel the tug as the aircraft sort of leans around, you know. I think, you know what, that was in May when we went. That was a few years ago, that was. But yeah, the weather wasn't very nice when we went, because it was when they have their like few weeks or a month or so of like just rain pour down. It was like that in Jamaica many years ago. You know, every day, on the first time that I went to Jamaica, it was like every afternoon at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it would just bucket it down for about an hour, and then it would just stop. But when it was in Fuerteventura, the weather was like their rain season, and it wasn't very nice. It wasn't even really hot, to be honest. That was the first time I've actually stepped off an aircraft expecting it to feel that heat wave when it just hits you. Like the air's hot, the humidity's there, and it just didn't happen. It was just completely grey and raining. And then because I went in a vest thinking that like the sun's going to be out and it's going to be scorching, I had to get my jacket because I was getting wet when it was raining. Yeah, I've never been to Tenerife or Gran Canaria. I would like to though. Lovely weather, and the little islands as well. I'm sure they are actually really nice to visit. I do want to do a flight on here to Madeira. I'm not sure where we're going to take the A310 because that comes out tomorrow at 4 PM. The update's going to land. So I'm not sure where we're going to take the A310 out. I'll be streaming down on Saturday. So hopefully we'll get a lovely flight, as we've got the Init Builds A300. So it's going to be some really nice flights coming in with that aircraft. I'm going to mix it up more with the 737 and the A310, run it in, get it all in, and then in a couple of weeks time I'm going to get the VATSIM set up properly and do a few offline flights to get back on it, and then hopefully I can live stream for you guys, as it is quite solo in the cockpit, and it would be nice just to sort of relay with others on there, you know. Yeah, Jamaica's really nice. Jamaica's lovely. Back in the day, I've been there about 4 times. It's lovely. Negril was the first place I went. The other times it was Montego Bay, but Montego Bay was really nice. It was lovely, that was. Definitely, I'm going to go back there at some point. Hopefully, within the next couple of years. Hopefully. The hospitality out there is absolutely fantastic. You can't fault it. Everybody's so happy, and they just want to do their best for you, you know. But Jamaica's lovely. It's always hot, you know. Even in December, it's hot. Every time, like, they've never seen snow. I can remember when they said they've never seen snow, but they still put their Father Christmases up on the reception desk and everything, you know. Nah, Jamaica's one of them places, you know. The hospitality's bang on. You can't fault it, you know. It's definitely a place to visit, and everybody wants to do so much for you, you know. They'll go out of their way. It's not like, oh, I can't be bothered or anything. You don't ever see any person that's unhappy or can't be bothered, you know. The vibe is so uplifting. If you could be on their sort of vibe every single day, you'd live the happiest life. And hopefully we can get some nice long hauls in with the A310. As now that's coming into the sim. It's only 1 day away now, not even 24 hours away. That aircraft's going to be here with us, and I can't wait to have a go of it, to be honest. Yeah, Dominican Republic's nice. Been there once. That was many years ago as well. But Dominican Republic was nice. That was a nice place, actually. The hotel was set like, it had like a sort of little road that was in the middle between the hotel, and then on the other side you've got the beach, and that's got like their little like bar, etc. So like you got like obviously your main hotel with everything there, and then in the evening you just cross the road and then go straight down into the bar where all the entertainment is, and then you've got the beach there and everything. Yeah, Dominican Republic was nice. That was Santo Domingo. All them tropical countries, they're all nice countries to visit. You know, it wouldn't be so bad if it was in America, in the USA, because it's not even that far away. No, I haven't done Australia. That's one place I haven't done. You know, I mean, I see a lot of people that like to travel there, etc. Like with myself, like a lot of people in the UK, you know, you hear that they go travelling to Australia and they go there for months and months. But with myself, I don't really have that sort of. I don't know how to describe it. I don't really have that sort of. Oh, I want to go, if that makes sense. I've never been there. I'd go there on a holiday, but I'm not one of them travellers that goes away for months and months, you know. Even when I'm on holiday, like 2 weeks is enough for me. Any more, and it's like I'm just repeating the same thing every day, and it just gets a little bit too much, you know. I'm one of them people like I lose interest pretty quick, but you can't complain, you know. You can't complain. Oh really? Your daughter lives out there? Well, that's another reason to always go out there and visit, eh? So we're just getting up to flight level 320 now. Terrain can go on. The aircraft's pretty much now at its top of climb. There's a top of climb now on the navigational display. TERA, which needs to go on and checked. Yeah, I bet it's a long flight. Does it do any stopovers or does it go direct? So we're tracking the 037 now. Landing lights, runway tunnel flights are all off. Cabin's been released. Anti-ice is on as well. And that is us now, all the way up to lovely Madrid. I'm just going to check the flight plan. Make sure that that's all good for us when we come in. I'll match it up with the charts just before we come down into descent. Just make sure. So there's a decel. Once we fly down, we're then going to go all the way down, swing onto that left. There's Topcat, and then we ride in for the arrival, which is absolutely lovely for runway 32. Yeah, I was going to say, did you stop over at Dubai? Because a few airlines would do that, wouldn't they? Well, you'd have Qantas, I suppose Emirates would go there. Obviously back in the day you would have had the 747. Now, I mean, you've even got like the A321 doing its trips over. They've got that A320, the A321 XLR or something. They'll do it from like Dublin over to the USA, you know. So the aircrafts are getting more long distance and more long range. The A380 is absolutely just massive. It's just one big massive aircraft. Damn, I bet you're sick and tired of the flight. Sitting there for hours and hours. You know, I usually just go to sleep. Damn. There's the outside view. There's not much to see cloud-wise. There's no cloud coverage at all over here in Spain. It's very clear today. So seeing as it is clear, we'll light up the sky with lights on our arrival when we come back, and we'll set it down into a late evening, so then we can see some lovely night lights in the sky, and we'll see all of the buildings, etc. that are all lit up down on the floor, as it is it's pretty fair weather today. Yeah, definitely, mate. I could imagine them flights must be absolutely hell, but you can't wait until you get off. So there's the outside view of the aircraft. As we now fly down to Madrid. But yeah, in a couple of weeks' time I will get back simming. I've got the FSTL traffic, just haven't banged it in. I've got to remove the other matchmaking that I put in with the X-Pilot. I need to get that all out. PC needs a good old clean up. But enjoy the flight. We haven't got that long to go now. On the descent, 146, 1328. So just around another 20 minutes, and then we'll be getting ready for our top of descent down into the runway. Oh, Cancun will be one to go to. I bet that'd be lovely. Down in old lovely Mexico. Okay, so there's our left hand turn now as we track the 032. So just a slight left. Get back up at them outside views, the aerials. Yeah, Cancun would be really nice. There are some lovely countries in the world. You know, it's just about going there, discovering them and checking them out. Then you get to see what that country has to offer, you know. So it's quite bright up here. I've turned on all the ambient occlusion and everything on the aircraft, so that's why the aircraft looks a little bit darker than usual. But it should make do. When we get down, it'll be dark when we come back down for Malaga. So I haven't done a night arrival for a long time now, so that'll give us something to do. Yeah, it sounds it, mate. It sounds like you've been on quite a lot. It's always good to get away, though. You know, it is always good. Let your hair down, come back nice and reset. Reset your batteries. And when you come back home, you come back to wet UK, the wetland. It's always damp. Never really get a lot of nice weather here. Maybe for a couple of weeks, and that's about it. That's your lot. As soon as everyone sees a bit of sun, everyone's out. Everyone's gone. Every place that you want to go to is packed. So it is very, very clear today. Out in Spain. Very, very clear. Can't say it's cloudy or anything. Hello, good evening, Pam. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're ready for the A310 when it comes tomorrow. So that's definitely going to be a sight to see, that's for sure. Shame that you can't actually get the forecast winds in. So you can request it, but it doesn't happen. Not unless they've sorted that out on an update. So you can see the request is lit. I'm not sure if they come through. 140. Okay, so let's load that. Then nothing comes through, so I don't think the winds do. Yeah, data link config. Okay, I'm going to set that all up anyway when we get near, but it is 140 for the transition flight level. I bet Malta was alright though. You know, what was the weather like? Was it cooling down out there, or was it still nice? So I'm just going to check the arrival charts, run that down with the FMC, make sure it all matches up. Okay, so we've got Rodic, which is flight level 170, RIDAV, Rodic, RIDAV's for 32, down to 7,000, so let's check this out. So we're going to come down to Toledo, which is the Tango Lima Delta, which is the 113.2, we can plug that, so we can see whereabouts we are from our positioning from there. See if that comes in. Okay, that will come in once we get near. Then we swing all the way round, as we say, 15.9 DME from the Tango Lima Delta. We then make a left hand turn to 046. There's Tobec, which is our initial approach fix. And then from Tobec, we then take the ILS Zulu, as we said before, which will then make us intercept at 1.7 from the Papa Delta Tango VOR. We then make a left hand turn onto the 323. That's us down 4006.2 for the Mike Alpha, or 11 DME from the VOR for the Sierra Yankee, which is just tricking over there. Got Cat 2, Cat 3 and Cat 3 Bravo as well, if you wanted to do an auto land. If you guys want to see an auto land at some point, let me know. We can arrange a auto land flight. RVR 750 meters. When a flight director or autopilot or head-up display or decision altitude is not used. Okay, so 2203 for 270 has got 1933 on the airport's elevation. Okay, transition flight level, which we'll say is 140 as we pass through. There's barrages for the 11645, which is the airport. Oh, it's wicked. At least it was hot. You know, at least it wasn't raining, or you know, the weather was bad or anything like that. At least the weather was all right when you went there. You have a few drinks, sat out in the sun, sat out on one of the outside one of the bars. Hey, Drip, my man. Well, there's two MCP panels that you can have in the FMC. This one's just came in with the Ryanair livery when it was loaded in. So you've got the Honeywell and the Collins. So this one is the Honeywell, I think. With the auto land, there's a CMDB. So what we'd do is just wait until the Cat 1 initializes, so the single channel. Once the Cat 1's in, we'd then hit the CMDB, and then the aircraft is locked in, ready. Then down to about 1500 feet AGL, the aircraft will start the autopilot's ILS system, where you'd see the diamonds. They'll start to blink as they're doing a self-test, and then once it's done its self-test, that's when it locks in the auto land, and then you see the aircraft get ready to go. But yeah, no, you can still do auto land through this panel. It's just the same, except having the four that are all together, like the CMDA. You've got the CWS for the roll and pitch, so CWS-A, and then you'd have your roll and pitch. So that basically means it's sort of like an autopilot, sort of acts like how the Airbus would if you rotated into a pitch angle, the aircraft will hold that, and I think vice versa with the roll. So it's sort of like your trim sort of stabilized with the CWS. But yeah, no, with the MCP panels, it's exactly the same. You know, you can zoom in and have a little look at the panel for the Honeywell. So it's the same. Let's just change that. So it's the same as the Collins. You know, there's our courses, there's our flight director, just little buttons, not big square ones. There's a speed intervention, altitude intervention, CMD AB and CWS AB, flight directors, and then everything is the same here with the N1 speed, head and select, vertical speed. So they are all there. They just look a little bit different because it's like it looks like an old school sort of MCP panel. So we'll take to RIDAF, which will take us onto the 098, top descent 73 nautical miles. I'm going to bug the 098 now, so I don't have to do that once we track inbound. Okay, 098, which is in. So the ILS Zulu, that's going to be Tobec. Oh really? That's really interesting to know, mate. I didn't know that. Damn, I bet you had some fun. I bet you had the time of your life, mate. I bet that was an experience that you'll never forget. So I hope I'm doing everything above board to your satisfaction. And I'll try and do it even better now. Now that we know that we've got a real airline pilot here with us. Yeah, so hopefully we don't make a balls up. We'll be all there good to go. We're not too far now for our descent. So just under 70 miles. 66 to go. Get the forecast in and that just before we reach near. And then we'll bug the MCP altitude down and let the aircraft take control. Just as we reach our top of descent, obviously we'll get our vertical deviation, which will pop up on the navigational display. We'll sort of see it here on the PDF as well. And then the aircraft will follow its VNAV path. You know, this aircraft is an interesting aircraft to learn as well. It's nice to learn the insides of what the aircraft to do, like learning the LNAV and VNAV and how they really work deep down. Like if you go off your vertical deviation path, the aircraft will go into VNAV speed and it won't re-engage unless you're back within limits. You know, it is an interesting aircraft. I do enjoy the 737 the most. Oh really? That's wicked, man. I bet that was really, really interesting. One of them once in a lifetime opportunities, eh? Virgin Atlantic as well. They've got lovely livery, especially their cherry red livery. It always does stand out, even like back in the day, like Richard Branston in his 747s. You know, they always looked very nice with that red, with the white. I love the white liveries. I think it makes the aircrafts look so much more nicer when they've got like the pure white fuselage with just a little bit of colour, you know. Oh, that's great, mate. At least we're doing okay. Hopefully we don't make a balls up, but now it'll be alright. Thanks for that, pal. Glad you enjoy it, mate. Try and do it to the best of my ability, you know. I've done some research on that, on the 737, and back in the day obviously on X-Plane 11, so I've had about 3 years in this 737 to sort of know what it's going to do and where it's going to do it. So yeah, try my best. I like to learn the system, especially like in the old aircrafts like the 732, where they've got like the INS, you know, and I do find that really interesting, especially with like the RMI and the HSI. I find that really, really interesting, doing all them sort of calculations, and you don't have all of these screens or panels. It's literally just straight navigating and you're running off of the coordinates. So hopefully Microsoft does bring one of them aircrafts in, because I would really like it if they, even if they brought in a 737-200. But if they did, I doubt that they'd put the INS system in. They'd probably put like a little FMC in or something. The old BA. BA is a nice airline, you know. They've got a lovely livery too. It speaks very British, you know. The BA with their blue, and then the little blue and red flick up the side of the front of the aircraft. But fair play to you, mate. You know, I bet you had some amazing times on there. I bet you had some turbulent times too. I bet you've seen some lovely places also. So we're going to track just around 10 nautical miles time. We're going to make that right hand turn, and then we'll start getting the aircraft prepared, ready to come in, because I don't think we're that far away now from our top of descent. 40 nautical miles, so I'll get the forecast in and that, which will be done in a second. Yeah, that's a long time, mate, but at least you got to have 25 years of doing that sort of criteria, you know, like the experiences, the good times that you had, you know. I bet when you stopped, did you think to yourself, oh, I want to get back in, or was it one of them ones where it's like, I've done enough here now, you know, it's time to say goodbye and relax. Okay, there's our top of descent, shifting quite fast. So we better get the descent winds in, so we can get the aircraft in, ready to come. Otherwise, it's probably a little bit too early, but still. So there's a forecast. QNH is coming down into Madrid. Let's get that quick. LEMD meters, which is checked. Plug the MCP altitude as well. I'll just put that down just so we can start that top of descent. Coming down for 4,000 feet for the ILS. Okay, which is checked. Okay, so QNH is coming down is 1025. Okay. Then 132. I'm going to put it to 22100 and 5,000. Which is also checked. Descent winds coming down. Got 021 at 27. Then we've got 034 at 10. And for our runway winds, which I'm going to bang in, we've got coming in is 2 knots from all directions, so put the 324 at 5, we'll leave that there. Okay, there's the top of descent, which should be back. There it is, 20 nautical miles now to go. Get the cabin ready, let them get a brief heads up that we're ready to come in. The 117, which is also tracked. Hey Deck, good evening my man, hope you're well, pal. Yeah, I could imagine, pal. I think if I was, I'd be pretty gutted when that day would come. You know, seen some videos online of some airline pilots that are doing like their last flight, and they're really upset because it's part of your life, you know, and for such a long time as well. It's part of your daily routine. It's a part of your life, and then I could imagine as soon as retirement comes, everything just goes quiet, you know. But like you say, all good things must come to an end. But at least you had a good time doing it. That is the main thing, and you've made so many memories and probably made lots and lots of friends, and they're there for a lifetime, you know. So there's our top of descent now, just over 10 nautical miles within reach as we are ready to go down. Just as we pass the top of descent point, the aircraft's not going to start its initial decel on the V-speed as it would if we was a little bit lower, but it's the same anyway. So a few nautical miles before the top of descent, the aircraft would initially start to slow down to then compensate for that. And then once we pass the top of descent point, vertical deviation will pop up. We'll see it here on the PFD as well, and yeah, that's us ready to go. And obviously if you're trying to look for where you got your waypoint altitude in the PMDG on FSX, you should be able to put that in. But obviously our next waypoint will pop up here. We'll see our flight path angle to our vertical bearing, and it'll tell us what vertical speed we'd be doing to get down to that waypoint at that specific point as well. So the 737 is an interesting aircraft. Hope we can land it down nice and smooth with Ryanair, so if we do bang our wheels off, then we've got an excuse. But no, they do some fair alright landings as well. It's just everybody only records the bad ones. So a little bit of wing flex as we hang off. The winds are variable in all directions coming down, so it should be quite calm arriving onto 32 left. Shouldn't be any turbulence at all. Lovely views. You can go up to 1440p on this flight, so not just 1080, hit your resolution on the video. We can go up to 1440. We're going to do a late evening to dark arrival coming in as we go to Malaga, so be sure to stick around. There's a top of descent point. There's a very good deviation kicking in now as the aircraft now starts its descent down. So tell the cabin, get your bums in gear as we're ready to get into Madrid. Madrid's got a nice approach. That was a pass through flight level 300. The engine start switch is continuous. Cabin's been notified. When we get a little bit nearer, we'll get the runway turn off and taxis on, so we ain't got to bother with them. Under 10,000 we'll get the landing lights on, ready to come in. Oh, wicked, mate. 26,000 hours. Amazing. That's definitely some time, eh? What different aircrafts did you fly? That'd be really interesting to know. I did have to send through 3,300 feet per minute. Vertical bearing's probably going to be a little bit more. So yeah, flight path angle's 4 to 2.3. So once the aircraft levels off, it should then start to come down. Pass through 27,008 or flight level 27. See the Tango Lima Delta VOR now, which is in 30 nautical miles. We're tracking the 117 inbound. IOS speeds 314, 282 will slow. You can see the decel, which is right there as the aircraft will start slowing itself down. There's flight level 170, and then all the way onto the intercept for Topcat, which is our initial approach fix 5,000 feet above. Then 4,000 above for the final fix, which is going to be for 4,000. That'll be 180. And follow it all the way down. So we're going to get our approach speeds 60.4, which would be 66.4. Takeoff flaps 30 plus 5, which would be a 154. As the winds are calm anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. Flaps 30, nice and quick, nice and hot. Flaps 2. You can have a look at the airport charts. We've got the replay system, which we'll get in when we come into Malaga. Okay, so we have a look on the airport charts. Coming in for 3-2 left. So I am going to, you can see that we are going to get off at one point, get off near to the end. I should imagine probably Lima 1 maybe, depending. Or we can come off at Alpha 10, and then we'll be right there for the terminals. So we'll say about Alpha 10. Just around, and then we'll blow out. Pass through flight level 227. Aircraft's coming down a nice descent path. Ah, wicked! All the big airliners. That's amazing, mate. Even got to have a go at the A350, yeah. Superb. And the A380. Wow, that's amazing. I bet there was some magnificent aircrafts to take control of, eh? Well done to you, pal. Would have loved to have a go in the 747. Bet that was an amazing aircraft to fly. You know, the queen of the skies. That big aircraft, they're massive. You know, the A380 is just like a giant. But the 747, that's the original. You know, that's one of them aircrafts. Like, you just can't beat a 747. It's a lovely aircraft. Okay, so we are going to put in 1025. I bet the Dreamliner was okay to fly, but it was nice 787-10. So yeah, the big one. 1025, which was in, we said on the forecast it was 1025, so that's fine. Progress now on the descent, so we can see for the waypoint for the Delta 298, so for some reason the vertical bearing and that isn't there. 5 nautical miles away from there. Just getting ready to pass that decel point, so we'll see the V-speed tape start to slow down. Passing through 18,000. Once we pass 14,000, then we'll switch the QNHs over. Yeah, I could imagine she was a magnificent aircraft to fly with the technology that's around these days as well. I bet that was really spectacular. So the 117 in, then we're going to take that left-hand turn. Once we pass through the Delta 130 Foxtrot onto the 092, and then we're going to intercept that all the way through to Quebec, and then we make that left-hand turn on the Papa Delta Tango. We'll see if it makes that left-hand turn at 1.4 nautical miles left. So it'd be nice if they had a 747-200, because they had that in X-Plane 11. Used to love flying that with the INSs and tracking the VORs inbound. Used to be nice, like see here 1.7 for the Papa Delta Tango, and we make that left-hand turn. You know, and we do it all like with the head and select, and then rack into the ILS. Okay, so let's get the ILSs in. So the 323. Okay, which is in on the 109.9. Okay, 109.9, let's get that in as well. There we go, that's just the keyboard catching up. Okay, 109.9, 109.9, which is pre-armed, so we'll get that in. The aircraft's going to decel now, as we're going to decel all the way down to 250. 17,000 it's holding, so we ain't going to open up the speed brakes just yet. Okay, I'm going to get the runway turn off, taxis can go on, so they're already pre-done. Engine anti-ice +2, so up to 10 degrees we'll get them turned off. Currently tracking now the 130, which is in and checked, so we'll try and get a nice arrival in. Then once we get down, we'll spin the aircraft round and we'll get out for Malaga. Need to get the Topcat performance, we get the flex temps. Oh, I bet that was really good, you know, to write the SOPs. But that was really good, mate. So she makes her way down. We're not too far away from lovely Madrid. So buckle up and get ready for the arrival. Yeah, I bet that's really interesting, you know, to write the SOPs. Would have been good if you ripped one for the 737. I'll be definitely there to have a read of that. Yeah, I could imagine. It took forever. Could well imagine. Okay, get it down to 250. For some reason the auto throttle is very, very laggy to an extent. When it powers up to capture the speed, it just goes right past it for some reason, which I'm not too sure about as to why it does that. But we're now going to go into that left-hand turn, which is going to take us on to the 092 and then the 047. Okay, 092, which is checked. Not too far away now from the airport, just onto that left. So get the ILS now armed, which is 109.9. We'll catch the identifier as well, which will come into play once the localizer comes within range. There's the aircraft now getting ready to slow down slowly but surely, as we're now going to drop down to 228 for 220. Okay, so I'll push that in so I don't arm the FMC speed again. So on the Zebo mod, where the throttles were armed and they're disconnected from the servos, you used to be able to sort of power up a little bit, like it'd free the throttles, but it doesn't seem to do it on here. So the 046 now coming in. Okay, which is checked. Approach speed for our flaps 30, as we've already changed that with the weights, etc. It's 149 plus 5, which is going to give us our 154. There's 046 inbound as we just pass over Burex, and the aircraft will now hold at 220 before we then drop down to our flaps up speed, which is 200. Once we intercept for the localizer, we'll drop down into our flaps 5. Then we should be all good. So there's the FMC speed kicking in. We'll see if it goes absolutely ballistic or it just powers up nice. Oh, that's wicked, mate. Yeah, definitely something to do, you know. It keeps you active, keeps you occupied, especially from what you was doing, you know. That's one of the greatest jobs to do. I've really enjoyed that. See, I don't know why the auto throttles are doing this this sluggish manoeuvres like that. It wasn't doing that on the past 2 updates before this one and the one before that, but it started doing that now for some reason. The auto throttles power up, but they don't come back as fast. So I'm not sure if that is a bug, because it hasn't done that since the update before this one that came out. That's when this started happening. So I'm not too sure whether that's a bug or not. So as you track now the 046, we're tracking the 046, but with the wind, I should imagine 22 coming back. The aircraft can slow itself back down. Then we're going to start that descent from 97 to 5,000 above, then all the way. So for the Charlie, for the initial fix, let's just see, because I'll plug that for 4,000 if needs be, so the aircraft can actually get there, because 4,000 above, sometimes the aircraft will go a little bit ski with. So max 220 at Topcat, which is in. Max 220 for Topcat, 5,000. We're going to get 4,000 in just for here. So then we are at 4,000 ready to descend when we need to. And we're currently 12.4 nautical miles until we reach our next fix. So all the way to 046 now till we intercept onto the 323. Then we'll go through the approach checklist and then get ready to come in. 1 flight down, 1 more to go. So we're going to be doing like a late evening to a night flight coming back, so we'll switch that over as well, so we can see the ground light up and see all the lovely little buildings. As I think I've sorted the bit rate out for the stream, so hopefully we shouldn't get no pixelation when we are out on there. So 220, still holding on our speed. Once we pass the Delta 227, then the aircraft's going to start to descend. We need to go down to 9,003 now, so it's going to start doing that. Wait for the identifier to come in, 109.9. Double check that, just to make sure that's the Mike Alpha Alpha. 109.9232, which is checked. So coming down on our descent for the 3-degree glide path, 154, probably looking around 830, I'd say. 800 feet per minute. Okay, for 12, we're into 10s, we get the landing lights on, so that'll save us doing that as well. And then we can go through our approach and get the aircraft fully configured, ready to come in. So strap your seatbelts in and get ready to go. Oh really, that's wicked. Yeah, I could imagine the long hauls, you know, they would be quite frustrating when you're trying to get some rest, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got like sort of kids screaming, etc., and then you've got to get your rest, ready for like in a few hours time, I should imagine, when you switch over. So yeah, to get that ambient noise, it sort of blocks all of that out, doesn't it? Get the sound system in, tump the bass. So as the aircraft now passes 9,000 on the check 9.3 for the 227. So it should start to descend even more. Once it passes that, it will start that descent down 5,000 above. We're right near our clean speed anyway. So as soon as we intercept for the localizer, we'll drop the flaps 5. Then once the glide slope comes in, we'll go flaps 15 geared down. Under 210 knots, we can drop flaps 10 if we need it. As we now just get ready to pass through 10,000 feet. So for the approach checklist, got auto brake set for number 2, which is checked. Got our VREV 30 plus 5, which are 154. Packs are auto, bleeds are on. Speed brake, which can be armed now. Green light, which is checked. Coming in on the 3-degree glide path. Need to get our minimums in quickly if I can. Should be able to. They take forever to start up, so that was one thing that I did forget. Get the minimums in, which is our 2203 for 270 on the decision height. There's the identifier now come in for the ILS for the Mike Alpha Alpha at the top left, the PFD. Takes forever trying to get the barrow up. Yeah, that's the thing. It's very expensive when for training, etc. Yeah, I do agree. If you can, they do like Lufthansa. You know, you go in Vienna, I think. You know, they do say like going over doing the training somewhere else. As in the UK, it's quite expensive. Definitely. There's 2206 for 273, which is checked. And we are now ready to come in. So I'm down to 8,005. Yeah, that's the only thing. You know, it's quite expensive for the training. Quite a lot of people go out, like obviously in some of the training, you know, you leave the country, then you get like 1,500 hours frozen, then come back and do the rest. So 3.5 nautical miles, and then we've got one more fix. Anti-ice can now go off. That will give us 3% less N1 power for idles. That will go down to about 33. Okay, which is checked. Slow speed. Now as we get ready to come in for Madrid. So fasten your seatbelts. So when we leave, we're going to be doing a night arrival, a night departure, late evening, night departure leaving. Let's hope we can get the aircraft down nice and stable. So passing at 7,003 now as the aircraft makes its final descent now, down to 4,000. Recall's clear. TUI is a great airline. I actually like TUI. That's actually my favourite airline. I like their livery, you know, with the blue and the white. Sort of looks a bit like a dolphin, you know. I do like TUI. That is one of my favourite airlines in the UK. Okay, as we start coming down now, 6,005, get the approach into the hold. So we've got that armed, got localised the glide slope, which is pre-armed. Passes 6,400 feet. You see the diamonds, they'll go magenta. As you now go on to the 323. Okay, which is checked. There's a single channel now for the localizer. Yeah, definitely. You definitely get the discounts, mate. 100%. I remember my mate, his mum worked for TUI, and he was always going to Mexico, like literally like twice a year, because she gets like all discounts and that. Okay, so localizer's in, single channel's in, passes through 5006. The approach is armed. Not going to drop the flaps just yet. Let the aircraft come in a little bit more, as we're still holding out around 30.5 nautical miles. Okay, so runway for us is right here. There's runway 32 left. There's the decel, next decel, which is then we're going to start going down into our flaps. So we go flaps 5. Capture in. There's a glide slope slowly coming down now, 4,000 feet for the initial fix, or the final approach point. Now we go down to flaps 10. We'll drop to 15, but let's get it down nice. Okay, so there's a glide slope in. Flaps 15, gear down. By 5 nautical miles, the aircraft has to be fully configured, ready to come in. You'll see the throttles, they'll advance up just a little bit for the flaps 15 to compensate with the drag.
2500.
Check. Thanks, my man. Glad we get the OK from yourself. At least we're doing something right. Didn't set the missed approach altitude, but I'm sure that's like 4,000 feet or so. Got the minimums in 2206. So 273 AGO. It should lift off. Still 6 nautical miles, so we're going down to flaps 30, 154. Which is checked. Hey, that's it, deck. 80 inch, eh? Literally blow the living room up with the 737 cockpit. Hey, so there's the outer marker. So landing check, it's got gear down, 3 green, we've got flap setting 30, which is green light, we've got auto brake set for number 2, landing lights are down, packs are auto, bleeds are on, we've got our VREV 30 plus 5, which is our 154, established on the single channel, and we've got our minimums for the 206, 2206 for the 273. Now, I'm going to get a little bit of manual flying in, as I don't like flying it to the minimums, it's quite close to the airport, you know, we don't get a little bit of manual flying in. So, as we're coming down now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to disconnect the aircraft, and we can fly manually. So, autopilot, auto throttle disengaged, and I have control of the aircraft. Looking around 800 feet per minute on the descent, just cut back.
1,000.
1,000 check. A little bit left rudder in. And just slope down a little bit. Match with the glide slope. Go lift up.
Plus 100.
Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up. And reversers are active. Okay, decel. Just board on the column. Run all the way down. Okay, 80 knots, reversers can be stowed. 60 knots, manual braking. And here we are, down in lovely Malaga. So I'm going to turn off here, so we can't just get off. Could have took that left right there. So we'll just punch off here, that should be fine for us. As we just could have took the one on the left there. Apart from that, get the speed brakes in, that should be fully retracted. Let's get ready to come off onto the taxiway. So we'll just slow the aircraft down now. Landing lights we can all go off. Strobes can go to steady. I'll set the rest of the aircraft up as we go off. Ah, that's great. Yeah, usually I do forget the missed approach, so I don't usually plan to do one, you know. But yeah, I probably would get sacked for doing one with Ryanair, mate. But thanks guys, thanks Deck, thanks Joe. Hope you guys did enjoy the arrival coming down. Once we get to stand, we'll set the aircraft up to come in for the early evening arrival. So engine start switches which can go off 1.5 minutes after landing. We'll get the APU on, so we'll turn that on once we take this right, and then we'll go down into stand, switch the aircraft around, and then get ready to go, and then we'll be on board to Malaga. So I hope you guys did enjoy the flight. Thanks pal, glad you enjoyed it mate. Still got one more flight left, one more leg to go down to Malaga. We'll see what the lighting is saying for the evening as the aircraft comes off. I'll put the pulse lights on for the strobes, so we'll be able to see them flashing away. As I've changed that in the settings, I'm not sure if it stayed there though, but we will find out. So we'll get the APU on now. Okay, we just checked. Should see the low oil pressure, the EGT come up. Should do, there we go. Then we'll go to stand, switch around and fly to Malaga. We need to get the Topcat performance for the aircraft, so we're just waiting for the EFB to come in for the PMDG, which hasn't yet. I'm sure it will at some point. Okay, EGT's coming down now. Going to one of these stands over one of these jets. I'm not going to open it up. We need to get GSX. That'd be really good to get. I do need to get that. And then we can see all the passengers boarding, getting themselves all mobile. So I'll switch over 1 and 2. Okay, we'll take this stand right here. Get landing lights, taxis, runway tunnels are all off. Flight directors can be turned off as well. Okay, so what's that about here? We'll be fine. Get the parking brake on. Okay, which is up. That is us down in lovely Madrid. So we'll switch the aircraft round and then we'll get ready to go back to Malaga. Yeah, it does, definitely. The 737, you're right there, mate. It's one of them ones where it doesn't just come right down and then just nicely come down. It's one of them ones where it's sort of, as you say, sort of with the wing tendency, floats up, comes back down. As you can see on the flare there, where we flared, and then just had to drop it a little bit, then flare it again, as it sort of it lifted, you know. So we'll get the engines off now, 1 and 2. Terrain can be off so we don't fry off the blokes down below. And we'll go in and get the aircraft all done for our ground services. So once the aircraft's off, tracks can be set, request the ground power. Need to change the board to the jetway, and that should come in once that all stops. And then we'll refuel. We need to get the Topcat performance for the takeoff, and then we'll be able to come back in. So N2 is now decreasing, the engines are now spinning off, and welcome to Madrid. So I'm just waiting for that to come, and then I can change them to stairs to the jetway, and the jetway should come in. Okay, there we go, we can request the jetway. Jetway's coming over. Stairs can now be opened, which they should. Okay, now everyone can get the hell out of here. So I'm sure that'll do everything as it needs to do it. So, in a few moments time, what I'm going to do is, I'll be back in a few moments, get the Topcat performance, and then we'll get ready to shoot out to lovely Malaga. So I'll be back in a few minutes time. Oh, was you, pal? I bet that would have been a really nice flight to do, you know, to end it on all high notes. Okay, so I've got the Topcat performing now. Switch over the ground power and get that turned off. Okay, so the aircraft's all ready and set. Just got to set up the what's it called? Just got to set up the weights and everything. We're coming out on the weights for this departure. We're coming out 68.7. So we'll go in and just get the aircraft loaded up, and then we can get ready to leave. So on our fuel, fuel's going to be 8.7 with 2 reserves, so 6.7 really. On for the payload, we're looking for 68.7, so 150 should do it. 152. Okay, there's 152, which is checked. The iris is already aligned, so we don't have to worry about that. I'll get the charts up and everything just before we go. Actually, I better get them up now so we can have a look and see the arrival. I'm going to go 3-3 left out again. He wants 3-6 left, but I'm going to do 3-3 left. Just keep it nice and simple. So we've got Lima Echo Mike Delta, and we're leaving for Lima Echo Mike Golf. Echo Mike Golf, which is checked. Okay. Now what I want to do as well is I want to set the evening arrival, so it's going to go into a sort of night time. So we'll leave it to about that. That should be fine for us. Actually, it should get dark by then. About 8:40, 8:40 it's dark, yeah. So we'll leave it about there. Okay, so the aircraft's nice and dark now. Go overhead, get the lights so we can see. So we're going to be leaving out for Lima Echo Mike Delta. Lima Echo Mike Golf is the arrival. We'll get the charts up as well so we can see all of them. Get them all in and ready to go. So for the taxi, open them up, get the taxi charts. Just going to punch these in quick so we can get out of here. Got the Victor Tango Bravo at 6 Lima. So I just need to find it. There we go. So there's a Victor. Oh, that was for the 6 Lima because it was 3-3. So it's a Victor Tango Lima that we're going to use to come out. As you can see, we've got all the transitions off of there. There's a Victor Tango Bravo, and we've got the Victor Tango Bravo coming up. So it'll be a Victor Tango Bravo that we leave. So I'll just switch that in. On for the star coming down, the standard arrival, so the standard terminal arrival. We've got coming in, we've got the Volpe 2 Kilo for runway 13. So let's see if we can find that, the Volpe 3 Kilo, if it's there. There we go, there's a Volpe 3 Kilo. Let's have a little look at that quick. So there's Volpe. We'll come straight in on the 190, hit Martin for the 1126, and then from there that's where we're going to come in. We're hitting down in for runway 13. So let's get the approach. See from wireless, we've got a Gabbers, so let's have a look. So we've got Martin coming down. There's Martin for the transition, so it'll be the ILS Zulu for 13, which is fine, so we'll trigger that, get that kept in, and we'll just get the taxi charts just to do that quickly as well. Okay, so on for the departure, we're going to leave out again. I suppose that'll be 3-3 left. We've got LEMD, so 3-2 left. There's no SID, so I don't know what I've done. LEMD, yeah, we are doing for Lima Echo Mike Delta, yeah. Maybe I'll just have to put the actual departure in that we was leaving from, which was 3-6. So we're leaving from 3-6 left. And we're going to be taking the Victor Tango Bravo 6 Lima. So it'll probably be the 5 Lima in this case because it hasn't updated on the Navigraph. Okay, which is fine. From there, we're going to take the uniform November 10. That's going to take us down to Chrysler. From Chrysler, we then got Uniform November 864, which will take us to Volpe. Then from Volpe, we've got the arrival, which is going to be the Volpe 2 Kilo. Coming in for the ILS Zulu 413. Let's just have a look. It's Tanzu. So we've got Tanzu and Omigo. So it'll be Amigo. Once we come in, activate that up, go over to our paths, request that. Let's see what our flight level is today. Hey German pilot, good evening my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Hope you're having a great evening. I'm just going to get the aircraft now all ready and set to leave. Okay, uplink's ready. Execute that off. Flight level, leaving out, is going to be flight level 310. Cost index of 23. Cruise winds, top of climb is at 3.5 at 3.1. Okay, which is checked, which is going to give us minus 45. Okay, which is also checked. On the performance for the aircraft leaving out, we've got a D-rate takeoff 1. And that's going to give us our plus 35. Okay. On for takeoff, get the runway slope, so it's up 0.7. Oops, there we go, up 0.7. Runway winds 340 at 3. Okay, which is in. It says a flaps 1 for the optimum here, 147, 150 and 154. Centre of gravity 584, which is in and checked. Light up all of our panels now. Get them all lit up. We see outside the aircraft now as it gets ready to go, so it's nice and dark now. Switch that off, that should be fine for us. So nice and dark now in the cockpit. Flight directors can go on, get the APU started up. Okay, which is checked. Any collision light can go off. EGT will start to rise. Then we'll be all set, ready to leave again. Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks mate. Hope you are too. It's nice to see you this evening. The throttle and joystick that I'm using the Thrustmaster T16000M. So it's got a separate throttle and a separate yoke as well. I was using the Otis X from Thrustmaster, so switched that up. And yeah, we're using that now. So elevation is 52, so we can leave that at 50. Okay, which is checked. Logo can go on. Put them onto dim for now. As we wait for the APU now to come on board. Get our V speeds 147, 150 and a 154. V2 plus 20, which will be 174. 310, which we can plug in. Okay, which is checked. And we're leaving out on the 358. Okay, 358, which is checked. On the throttle, auto brakes RTO. There's the APU, 1 and 2. APU gens in. Get the probes on after. Get the APU bleed on now. Okay, which is checked. And we are now ready to leave. Well, what I've done in the PMDG is what I have to do is on the yoke, I have to press a button, and then once I've idled the throttles back to idle, once I press that button, that sort of opens the reversers. Then I've got to power the throttles all the way up to then engage the reverse thrust. So it's sort of a go 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 on touchdown, if that makes sense. It literally is like go go go. So let's get all these lights in as well. Yeah, it's literally go, 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 mate. There you go, we can light up our co-pilot side can stay there as we haven't got a co-pilot. QNH 1025, that's all set. We're practically all ready and set to go now. So the APU switched over. Doors, we'll just say the doors are shut. Okay, we can release the jetway now. The jetway should go, hopefully. Release the ground power. Let's probably switch that around. There we go, hopefully that disappears now. There we go, so he's gone. We are now ready to leave. So we'll call the tug and get ready to push. Parking brake is on. Push back, standard left, we're going left, call the tug. Pats can be turned off, which are checked. And we'll start the tug. Turn the weather back, so it's quite nice. So we're coming down into sort of a late evening departure. And there we go. Okay, release parking brake.
Brakes released.
Okay, checked.
Brakes released, here we go.
If you go into the settings, there will be a get the reverse thrust to toggle it open. I use not the trigger button, but there's a back button left and right that I use for the trim. But there's a middle button on it, and that's what I use for the reverse thrust to open it. And then just advance the throttles forward, and that will basically set your reverse thrust to whatever you want. Okay, so N2's increasing now. %, inject fuel. Can change the knobs as well from the old style with the little pulls. Okay, N2's increasing now. As the aircraft now rolls back. Now we get ready to go. Okay, so here we'll do just fine, 56%, start to cut out, we'll go back. Okay, there's the switch. EGT will stabilise. Yeah, give it a try, mate. Just go into the settings and activate the button for the just to toggle the reversers, or hold the reversers, sorry. And then once you've set that one, then you can just advance your throttles forward, and that will basically power the reverse. As soon as you, but when you let the reversers basically finish, make sure that you put the throttles all the way back down to idle, and then let go of the button. Otherwise, you'll get the takeoff warning config. So there's a slip release gone. Everything's going to get ready and set to leave. 25%. N2 can start up now for engine number 1. That's now ready for our late evening arrival for Malaga. Okay, overheads now can be turned off into the dark. N2, EGT is increasing. LNAV, we'll check out 205 all the way up until we get VNAV in 2004, so it's a continuous climb out. There's 56%, start to cut out, so back now as we wait for the EGT to stabilise for engine number 1. And then we'll proceed to switch over the buses. So just switch over the flight plan for FlyLive. Okay, which is in. That should switch over now, and we are now ready to go. So switch over Gen 1 and 2, which is in. Gen 1, which can go over. Propeats can go on. Pats can go to auto. Isolation valves auto. It should have been open. Bleeds are on. APU bleed is off with the APU. Engine start switches are continuous, logo lights, anti-collision along with the strobes which are steady, and we are now ready to leave. So, taxiing, we'll check our taxi charts as the sun now just starts to lower down in Madrid. So, for our taxi, going out for 36 left, which is going to be right here. We're down in the terminal, so we're going to follow it all the way down, Alpha I should imagine, and then swing around, get down for Zulu 3. Okay. So I'll have a little look at that once we do get near. I'll follow Alpha all the way around. We need to take a right hand turn and then switch in. So we are all ready. We're going out for flaps 1 today, as we've got a long runway, which we can do. So 584. Okay. And flaps 1. Hey, thanks German pilot. See you soon, my friend. Take care. It was great seeing you this evening. And I'm sure I'll catch you on another flight, pal. So stay safe. Okay, there's flaps 1, which is engaged. Taxi lights, runway tunnel flights, which can all go on, which are checked. Dim the cabin, let them know. And now we are all ready and set to leave. So release the parking brake. And we'll taxi on down now to runway 36 left. Oh, just remember guys, you can watch it in 1440p as well. So I've got that set up here. So it should just give a bit rate off. So lovely, lovely views. Taxi back out onto Alpha. Okay, we need to go over the left to right side of 36 left. Okay, so we'll follow down Alpha now. And then once we proceed all the way down, we're then going to make a right hand turn. We can follow it all the way up because it just veers round to the right. We'll just make sure that we don't go past that. Then that's also all ready and set to come in, pass Alpha 1-4. And make a right hand turn and swing left off the Bravo 2. Don't know what the cars are doing. Okay. As the sun comes down now for Madrid. Flaps 1's down and engaged. Got 5.8, which is down on the trim. So So M1 speed, which is 91.2. FMC 20 the SSY unable, so we're gonna down get 180, and which we checked. There we go. Be able to do 180. Okay. Come up round the bend, make a right hand turn, and then we'll line up for 36 left. So make a right. We've got all of the lefts coming up. That'll be our third left. There's runway 36 left right there. Okay, next left is going to be ours. Okay, and we'll get ready now to line up for 36. Okay, so strobes can now go on to steady, chart checked. Before takeoff checklist, flaps 1, green light, also brake set to RTO. Got our VREP speeds which are all checked in, V2 154 plus 20, which is going to give us our 173. As we now line up for 36 left, ready to say goodbye to the lovely sun this evening. Okay, got D-rate 1, 35 on the flex temp, which gives us around 91.2%. So, seeing as we are already on the move, what we can do is landing lights can all go on. Yeah, chart checked. Do a roll in takeoff. Powering up to 45%. 50% down. Okay, stabilised. And toga. Full pressure on the column.
Airspeed's alive.
Check.
$80 knots.
Throw hold. 900 neutral.
V1.
So,
B2. Positive rate of climb.
gear up. Addons engaged. Okay, let's just hold V2 plus 20, 174. There's pass through 3003. Nav's engaged as well. As we go on to that left to right hand turn, there's climb power. As we're going to hold 180 all the way round. Let's go on to that left hand turn now. Okay, just checked. Still holding flaps 5. A bit jumpy. There's our up speed. Our flight director is going to come down now and start to increase the speed of the aircraft. CMDA can come in. Runway turn off lights, taxi lights, which are all off. As we come up for our flaps 1, just see over a lovely, lovely Spain. As we say bye-bye. Yeah, I'm going to get the wing lights on so we can see that as well. Then we're going to track back on to the 127. Okay, flaps 1, it's already in. Go, auto brakes up and off, gears up and off, runway turn off lights, which can all be set and turned off, which are checked. Get that one to go, there we go. There's our flaps up speed, which the aircraft's going to hold now, all the way around 205, and then we come back onto the 233. Okay, 233, which is in. As we get ready for that right hand turn. Okay, so that takes us back to 233. Engine starts, which is continuous. Release the cabin. And we'll enjoy our flight now back to lovely Madrid. It's only 147 nautical miles now until we get down. Then we'll take some lovely looks of the scenery down on the ground with the ground lit up. Just remember, you can go up to 1440p on this flight for the resolution, so be sure that you're watching in 1440. It should be nice and clear. As the sun now starts to set for our evening arrival down in lovely Malaga. As we drop in now, 233, some lovely views as we just leave it out, and then we're going to basically track outbound on the 233 and then track that right hand turn. That should be really nice to see. Some lovely views as we leave. That terrain now can go on, 1 and 2, fuel in the centre can go off, which is checked. Everything else overhead is all good for us to go. Now we're all set as we leave on our way. So I hope you enjoyed the night flight this evening. Now I've sorted out the bit rate, should be able to get some lovely departures on the aircraft. As you see, the whole of Spain now lit up. So enjoy the flight, and I'll see you at our top of descent when we get ready to come down. Only 147 nautical miles, so not very far at all. So enjoy the views, and I'll see you when we get back. Our landing lights can now all be set off as we have some lovely sky views from the aircraft as we get ready now for that arrival into lovely Malaga for the evening. So enjoy the sky colours as the sun now starts to go down. QNH is 1025, that can be switched over to standard as we go up for flight level 310. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. See the sun now start to set. So very relaxing now, very chilled. Track now the 174. And up to 310 we go. So I'll see you for our top of descent, guys. Bravo, welcome back, my man. Not too long now for the top of descent, just around over 80 nautical miles, so enjoy the view of the sunset just before we come back down. Hey Joe, welcome back my man. No, that's no problem pal, you do whatever you need to do mate. It's nice to see you back. Hey Joe, welcome back. As you can hear, just checking the chat out. But yeah, we're not too far now, we're only a few nautical miles from our top of descent, 18 nautical miles. And then we'll start that descent down. We've got the Martin VOR in, which is the 109, the 1126, sorry, the 109.5, that's the ILSs which are armed. We're going to come in on the 132. So it should be a nice arrival. It's a dark one, so we're coming in on the night. We'll see what the visual references are like when we come down. Hopefully we don't drop too low. But the approach is quite straightforward. It's coming for the Zulu 13, as you can see. We're coming from Vupe, below 250, above 100. On that 190, all the way down to Martin. Amigo's the initial approach fix. And then we ride down all the way to the runway, basically. So we've got 4002, which I need to set, 4002. Okay, have a look at the missed approach. So climb runway heading to 2.4 for the MLG, and turn left to intercept and follow the radial 102 MLG to Xville. Join the holding at 2,200 feet. So we'll set the missed approach altitude this time to 2002. As we can see now, the aircraft's slowing down, ready to reach that top of descent point. And then we can get ready to get the aircraft in. So I'm going to just lower the PFD displays so they're not too bright. There we go. Tomorrow we get the lovely Airbus A310 in the sim, so that should be nice. As we're going to get ready now for that top of descent down into Malaga for the last flight of the evening. The sun's just setting down. We're going to descend all the way through from 310, so there's out below 250 and above 10,000 of Vupe. One thing I didn't put in was the forecast winds for the top of descents here now, so I'm not going to bother putting them in for this bit. We're doing the ILS Zulu into 13. So I'll show you the approach. So this is the approach down into 13. So as you'd understand as well, there's the initial approach fix for Amigo. There's the VOR for Martin. Then we track down 5,000 feet onto the 148. And there's our initial fix, 19.3 from the localizer. And 16.5, that's where we'll intercept. Come down at 4002. And then, yeah, get ready to go. Oh, what the fixes in for the runway. That one thing I haven't put in, mate, is the fixes actually, to tell you the truth. Tell you what I will put in. I'll put in a 10 and a 5. So at least by 5 will be fully established then. So our fixes should be there. As you can see there they are just about on the flight plan. Should be able to see them. So there's some of the fixes. So yeah, no, the approach looks really really quite straightforward. It's literally just straight down and left turn pretty much. So it's not anything too drastic. I do like doing the RNAV approaches, they're quite interesting. I did do a couple of days ago. If you have a look at the flights back, probably about 4 days or so, did the Washington visual for the river visual, which you follow the river all the way down for the Ronald Reagan Airport, and then you make a right hand turn and then come down in. That was really nice. So like you disconnect just before you enter into the river and then you just follow it all the way down. It was really nice. Did that in I think we did it in the 737. Well, yeah, I think we did. It was a nice approach. It was a really nice approach actually. I like doing the RNAV approaches, you know. It's quite different than just doing the standard ILSs. You know, so there's Cat C 293 for 243. Oops, let's get this, reset that. You see we've got the barrier there from before. So plug that down. Then we get the METARs in for the runway. So yeah, it's a quite calm arrival. You know, it's quite calm here with the sunset as well. So it's not anything too ballistic. You know, it's just nice and relaxed. It's a nice chilled atmosphere when it is night time. I'm going to get the VAT sim in a couple of weeks time, so we can then hear some radios, and I'm sure you'll be really interested in that part as well, hearing all the atmosphere going on over the radios. As doing the solo flights, yeah, they are good, but I think it's time now to jump back into VAT sim. Did a few flights ages ago, and then I didn't bother anymore, but I'm going to jump back in, as kind of had enough of just being in the cockpit on my own, you know, just doing it from here. So we said the minimums were 295, it's for 243. Yeah, there's 295, which is in. So yeah, we should have VAT sim up and running within the next couple of weeks. I've got the traffic injection there as well, so I just need to take out the old model matching and just clean up the PC a little, and then I'll get some offline flights in, get back up to scratch, and then get back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to set the flight replay system up so we can see a replay of this flight. Because it will be dark, I'll set the lighting so it's a little bit more brighter, so we can have a look at the arrival on this one. As we won't see nothing in the dark, it's going to be complete darkness when we come down, I should imagine. So I'll set this up, and then we'll light up the sky just a little bit so we can see the aircraft. So there'll be a slight pause for about 5 seconds, and then the flight replay system will come in. Okay, so the replay system's in now. Yeah, I could imagine, pal, you know, if they shot them down, there'd be a hell of a delays. They cause such a nuisance. So So it's complete darkness outside. Actually, sun's nearly gone down. There'll be darkness on our side once we make that left-hand turn. As we pass through 18,007. Obviously the transition flight level, that's obviously done by ATC, but I usually just put it about 1,000 feet above the normal transition level. That way we run into it. So 6,000, so I usually switch it about 7,000. So at least then we run in accordance with it. But ATC would obviously tell you that, you know. Got the 132 courses which are set and cross-checked. Got the INS frequencies, the 109.5, which are set and checked. They're armed, so all we have to do is switch them over. Pretty straightforward. 42 nautical miles from Martin now, as the aircraft now gets ready to descend. But yeah, it's a straightforward approach. It's actually just straight down and in. I need to change that on the forecast actually, so I didn't set any of that up on the forecast. So 7,000, that will get rid of that. The QNH, set the QNHs as well. So Malaga is 1023. I didn't set anything for our winds because I kind of forgot. 1023 which is there. So about 5 nautical miles the aircraft should be ready to configure. By 10 we'll drop into a flaps 5. That should be good enough for us. Ah, okay. Wicked, pal. That's 7,001. Oh, is that all it is? Just 1 foot? I didn't even know that. So if the transit flight level was 6,000, you'd switch them over at 6,001. Or would you do it? Or is it all right to do it 1,000 above? If you obviously haven't got that on the charts. So like if we see here, it's 6,000. So what would we put it at? 6,001, the trans level. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't know that. Ah, thanks, pal. I'll keep that in mind. So really just put that back to really 6,000 then. Super. So just send through 14,007. 10,000, we'll get the landing lights on. Engine anti-ice is on now. It's at 10 degrees, we'll flick that off. Then we'll get all ready to go. See, it's good to have a pilot in the chat as well. You can find out these things that you wouldn't have known initially. The uplink doesn't work. Hopefully they get that sorted too. Pretty straightforward approach, to be honest with you. So we've got a decel, there's 2.5, then to 2.4, 2.65 at the moment, and then all the way down into lovely Malaga. There's a left-hand turn right there. 16.5. That's quite interesting to know, actually. I thought, yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense, mate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I can imagine. Yeah, defo. So, flying into the darkness, and as we can see, as Malaga approaches, that'll be the last flight of the evening. Tomorrow the A310 comes out. I'll be on Saturday. Be definitely showcasing that, so that'll be something to look forward to. as we take the Airbus A310-300 out for a spin. We'll do a 2-sector flight. I'm not sure where we'll go. I might do a community post on the channel where you can vote, so I'll leave a few real world routes for you guys. Yeah, it's just passed now through 12,008, or flight level 1-2. How is the A310? Is it like a rocket on takeoff? Because it's a little bit smaller than the A300, like shorter. You know, and the A300, flying it in the sim, the engines are like absolute rockets, even with the flex temp. Okay, so there's Martin now, just over 10 nautical miles, 12. It's passing through 11,000. Slow down for 240. And then we drop to 236, 225, so it's a slow gradual decel. Speed brakes can be armed. Okay, as we're near now, just passing Martin. Get the localizer frequencies in. Okay, wait for the identifier to come in. Then we'll track that left-hand turn inbound on sort of 147. So I'll have a look at the chart one more time before we get ready to come in. Okay, so at 3.9 it should be at 1445. Check our descent rate as well when we come down. So we've got again a 154, I think. Yeah, them engines are absolute rockets. You know, I could imagine on takeoff, like the torque on them absolutely crazy. So it's a 3.2 degree glide path. 1.5, so probably about 850 feet per minute. Yeah, the A310, the A300, their engines are absolute rockets. See, and they're restricted. So you imagine if they were de-restricted, we're going vertical. I've got the decel point just here. Didn't forget to put the TRAs, that's on as well. Let's make that left-hand turn now. Coming over, lovely Malaga. As the sun now sets. Passing through 9002, so landing lights can go on. 11 degrees, anti-ice, which is off as well, so we'll get a little bit more ISO power. Passing through 9000, and we are literally configured now to come in for the approach. Just waiting for the localizer to come in, just double check that we've got the localizer, the proper frequency, the 109.9. 109.5, 109.5. So that should start to come in. There's the localizer, there's the identifier now for the Golf Mike. 25 nautical miles out. Yeah, I know, could you imagine? With the modern Airbuses, you know, they have a really, the voice, when it goes stall, speed, 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 stall, that's a really terrifying, it's a really terrifying warning, you know. I think if you heard that, you'd be like, Jesus, like something's going wrong right now. Like, it'd wake you up, because that is a horrible voice when that reaches out to you. Speed, 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 stall. You know, especially that A3, I think it was that A330, that one with the pitos and that all went funny. I think it was the Air France, I think. When you can hear the voice recorder, for the cockpit voice recorder, you can hear that voice going off. It sounds absolutely terrifying. Okay, so we'll get the approach in now. Glide slope won't come in. You can capture the glide slope from under, I guess. It's past 7,002. There we go, there's the approach. The single channel's in now. You can capture the glide slope from underneath. Kind of come down for 4,000 feet, or 4,002. Okay, so I'm going to drop into flaps 5. Just get the aircraft slowed. It's in VNAV speed, so that's why the aircraft's following its speed, so we need to come down now. As it come out VNAV path. Okay, we'll go flaps 10. Just get a little bit more drag. Okay, wait for the glide slope to come up now. Then we'll recapture it back in. Yeah, didn't notice it come out of VNAV speed. Yeah, I bet that was a little bit like, oh god, what's going on here? You know, when the engine failure, you know, that's when you really have to have your wits about you. Okay, flaps 10. Just wait for the glide slope to slowly come through. It is for 4,002, 2 nautical miles, so probably have to carry on the descent down past 4,002 maybe. As you can see where we're going to end up with the speed as well. Slowly drifting up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, there's a standard QNH coming in now, which is even higher. So I'm going to draw flap 15, get gear down, to try and get a little bit more drag on the plane. We'll capture the glide slope from beneath. I'll capture it at some point, take it down to 3,000. As we jumped out of VNAV path, so the aircraft wasn't going to reach down for 4,002 as it was obviously following its speed down on the descent. There's a runway in sight. Hopefully we'll make it down, should be down alright. There's 5 nautical miles. Let's slow down for flaps 15, gear down. Gear down, 3 green. Engine start switches are continuous. Packs are auto, bleeds are on. Still no glide slope coming up just yet. Going to flaps 30, which gives us a 154. We'll slowly see if we can get this glide slope to come up. There we go. So we'll capture back in time. 154, throttle back. Let's see if we can get this glide slope. So at the 5 nautical mile mark, that's for 3,000. I need to keep this aircraft descending. Good old Vina there, when it jumps out of its path. Yeah, see, if that was a few minutes earlier, you know, it would have been dreadful. You know, it would have been absolutely devastating. I think this would be a go around, to be honest with you. That's 30. It's 800 feet, so we might capture the glide slope just in time, but got the runway visual. Puppy should come in. There's the glide slope slowly starting to move its way up. It's more like a visual now. Do I need to keep this aircraft coming down? Obviously it'd be a go around when carry this on, but it'd be interesting to see, as it was 850, so it's only an extra 400 feet coming down off profile. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, that would have been absolutely mad. You know, imagine that just a few minutes earlier, and that could have been everybody, you know, even yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect, fly the aircraft manually, and let's get her down. Let's get this aircraft down, shall we? Get her down for the evening. Let's get that glide slope back as well. Probably get some warnings on our way. Oh, quite high. Very steep descent. It was a 3.2 anyway, so a little bit normal than usual.
1,000.
1,000 check. Still 4 byte. Not something we want to see. Glide slope will come back though. We will get it back. Hopefully. Hey, there she comes.
Plus 100.
Give us some 2 reds.
2 minimums.
Continue.
100.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
30.
Cool.
20.
It's like complete dark.
10.
Jesus. Pooh. Jesus Christ. It's like the longest floater of my life. Okay, let's get this aircraft stopped, shall we? I'll turn the brightness up so we can have a look and see what happened. Hey, notch first is going to be stowed, come off at the end. And you're braking. And here we are now down in lovely Malaga, and that was something because it was dark as well. Yeah, it does. It definitely has some kickback. You know, the controls are quite sensitive on this aircraft as well, so that's another thing too to sort of like take in. It's very very kicky. For some reason I ain't got no lights at all. Not sure why. I haven't got no lights at all around here, which I'm not exactly sure why. Okay, so we've got some lines, we've got some taxi lines that we can follow. Let's see which way we're going. We're going left or we're going right? Okay, on the we're going left. As we came in. On for 3-1. Okay. So let's get off this runway. Yeah, the 737 is quite sensitive as well with this new update that's come out on the PMDG. I don't know, it's made all the controls quite sensitive, so I'm not too sure like why it's very sensitive. I've had to turn the sensitivity down like quite a lot, and it still hasn't even really made all that difference. So I'm not really too sure what's exactly going on with it. I'm not sure why the runway lights, like the low vis lights, are all off as well. That's usually there, but I'm going to follow it down. I'm going to get somewhere, and then I'm going to have a look at the replay. Yeah, I know, I bet we do. You know, they're probably doing their nut. Have to come out and have a good word with them afterwards, eh? So this should be Alpha that we're taxiing onto. Actually, no, it won't be Alpha. We came in on 1-3, didn't we? So we'll follow it down. There we can see all the stands. 1-3 we came down on. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going. Maybe going down there. Anywho, I'm going to stop the aircraft here. It's only got no low vis lights either, and for some reason it's very hard to see the taxiways for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the replay system. We can have a look at that landing, as it'll probably take quite a while to get back in, as it's just a little bit too dark, I think. So let's open it up. Let's have a look. Open it up in lightness, so we'll get the light in. Spaniards are doing their nut. They're like, what the hell happened when we came in? So let's have a look at this from a light perspective, because I know the aircraft jumped up about 2-3 times. So let's have a look at the arrival. We can take her out into the night time. So let me just get the aircraft down. Can have a look outside. We'll see if this is the one. Not sure if this is our first arrival. Not too sure. We can check them both out though. We'll check out both the arrivals of the evening. So this will be the first one. I think this was Madrid, to be honest with you. But we can check them both out quick and have a little look, see what they both look like. I don't know. I think this was that one. So we'll have a look, check out some of the views as well. I'll just set the speed brakes back, put it back into arm. Yeah, this was the one. This was the Malaga. There we go. So let's have a look. Hey, one take Brazy. Good evening, pal. Thanks to the sub, my man. Welcome to the community. I hope you enjoyed the flights that are on the channel. We'll be live here every day. We'll be next live actually on Saturday. So yeah, be sure to be there. We've got the A310 coming in as well, pal. So thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Joe, you always get them ones. You always get that one person that always has to kick up a fuss. You know, they can't just fall in line like everybody else and just be normal. You know. There's always that one person. It's just like that in life with everything. There could be 10 people that are all normal sitting in a classroom, and there'll be that one person that's the disruptive one. Wicked, mate. Happy birthday for Saturday. And I will see you on Saturday for the A310. That'll be our premiere for the new arrival of the airliner. So, two great things to look forward to, pal. I hope you have a great day. And be sure to check in. Yeah, it's the same everywhere, mate. There's always one rotten apple. You know, it's never straightforward. It's just complete. You never have one great, perfect run. You know, there's always got to be one. Defo, I can't wait for the A310 either, pal. You know, something's coming out tomorrow, UK time, 4 PM. Hey, Dan, on there. Good evening, pal. Hope you're doing well, mate. Just in time. I do have Discord, pal. There is a Discord link, I think, in the description, but I don't really use it anymore, to be honest with you. I did used to use it, but I don't use it anymore, mate. If I do bring it back, I'll probably will get it in. But yeah, you see that? That was in darkness as well. I was fighting with it the whole time, literally. Oh, wicked, mate. You'll have a little bit of spotting at London Newton. Hopefully they get the A300 DHO in as well. That'd be something nice to see. So that was Malaga. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in the... Oh, we didn't do the other one, did we? So what I'll do is I'll leave you with the wing arrival if it will load back in, and then that will be me for the evening. Yeah, I was doing it in the night as well. I've just changed the timing for it so it's a little bit so we can see the arrival, but yeah, that one completely took us off guard, that did. So let's wait for the aircraft to get back, and then what I'll do is we'll see if the Spaniards enjoyed the arrival. So speed brake can go up, so I need to get that up. There we go. Okay, I'll show you from wing view. Then that'll be me guys off for the evening. And Joe, I hope you have a great honeymoon, mate. Hope you have a great time over there. And I'm sure I'll catch you at some point. Pop in. It'll be here on Saturday, so I'm going to be premiering that A310. So that'll be something nice for the simulator. So I'll bid you guys all a good farewell. Hope you all have a great evening. Hope you enjoyed the flights. And I will see you all on Saturday around 6 PM. Might do a afternoon flight as usual. But I will catch you guys on Saturday for that nice flight. Oh yeah, we've got lots of luggage, mate. The overhead compartments need blowing off. It was great to have you in, Joe. It was really nice to see you, pal. And I hope to see you on the next flight. I'll be on Saturday, but obviously you're on your honeymoon. I don't expect you to be there. But when you get back, just pop in, and I will see you and everybody else on the next available flight. So stay safe, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.